Problem 1, develop the work time relationship curve for this project. There are 3 work items: site work, concrete building, and metal buildings, with the weight multiplier to define the magnitude of effort for each work, and also the project timing that allocated for each of the 3 tasks: site work, concrete building, and metal buildings. And what is the work time relationship we discussed in the first video of today's lessons. As you can see here, just review percentage of completion as a unit of measure, and we define the percent complete, and also a weighting multiplier already here in this problem to define the magnitude of the effort. So how to develop the curve in this problem? So let's work with this problem here. So we can draw it in 2D scale. One is with the time. So in this case, we have percent time. And the problem gives us the percent of time in here. And we also have the percent work. That's why we call it work time relationship. Percent time and percent work. And let's call the site work is the SW. Let's call that the SW. And the concrete building we got CB. And then the metal building we got MB. Then from that, we percent work, its maximum is 100%. So we can divide the project in 100% for this. So we have 100%, 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, and 0. Similarly, we can divide for the percent time. Also, maximum is 100%. So we have 20%, 40, 60, and 80. Then we can develop the curve for each of the side tasks, and then we can combine them in one single curve. From here, as you can see, the side work for this problem, the weight multiplier measure the effort is measured by percent of work, 25%, and the timing is 0% to 35%. So with that one, we can, in terms of the time, it's 0 to 35, you see 30, and this is 35%, as you can see. And the site work, the effort is 25%, so from 0 to 25, so we have that one here. So we can draw the horizontal line at 25% and vertical line at 35%. Then we can be able to determine, so that here 25. Then we can draw the line for site work from 0, start the effort 0 to the end to complete at percent time 35 and at percent work 25%. So you can draw a straight line, assume it linear straight line, and that is the site work SW. Similarly, we can draw a concrete building, the magnitude of effort 40% and time 15% to 75%. So 15 to to 75 in terms of the time. So this is 10%. So 15 is here. And to 75%. So you see 80, 70. It is 75. So we can draw additional effort for the concrete building 40% on top of site work already 25. If we get another 40% for the concrete, so 25 plus 40, 65. So we can have that is 60. This is 70. So this is 65. We can have here 65. Again, similarly, we can draw the line, horizontal line at 65%. And we also can draw a vertical line, go through 75%. So we can be able to find out the first point. The second point is they start at concrete building at 15%. So on the 15%, you draw a vertical line at 15 and intersects at 25 because that is where the site work effort ends. So we can have in the other point and we draw a straight line between these two and we can have that here concrete building. And similar, we do the metal building 35% effort. So it means from 65 finished concrete building to 100%. So the total effort is 100%. And the timing is 65% to 100%. So 65, 70, so 65 here to 100%. And then we can draw a vertical line at 65 and finish, stop at 65. That is where the metal building start. And the second one is the finish 100% for time and of course 100% for finish of the work. So we can draw a horizontal line at 100% for the work and the vertical line go to 100% for the time. So with that we can have another point, and as you can see from 65% of work to 100% of work, it's 35% exactly equal to weight multiplier for the metal buildings. So with that two line, we only need two point. Then we make a straight line. Then we get the metal building. So with that, we can have the curve for each of the tasks. Now, for this project, how can we complete the work time relationship curve for this project for the 3 single tasks in here? So as you can see, one by one, let me call that the work time relationship is a green one. So let's call either green is the work time relationship, work time curve for the project, curve for the project. Then for the time from 0 to 50% for this project, only the site work. So with that, as you can see, the work time curve for the project same as the same as the site work. Now between the 15% time and 35% time of the project time, as you can see, there is 2 work involved. That is the site work and the concrete building between that time. So they overlap. So how can we come? With that here in the first point, when it end of the site work, so as you can see, of course, the work have to be continuity. So it will be go here, the site work straight. And then at the end, 2 straight line you add, it become a straight line. So we can have here, you see the percent of the project after 35% of time, then we can just draw another straight line to here, another straight line. So all is straight line too. Then we can have that between 15 and 35%. Between 35 and 65% of time, you see the only concrete building, no other overlap. So the project curve for the project work time relationship is same as the concrete building. And similarly, for the overlap at 65 and 75% of time, we have concrete building and metal building, so we can have the overlap at that point and go up here, that overlap at the metal building, so we can draw a straight line, go there. And for the 75% time until 100% time, all in metal building, so the work time relationship curve for the project is the same as the metal building during that time. So as you can see that we can be able to determine the work time relationship. And with that one in the PowerPoint, you can be able to find that out that I have the animation in the PowerPoint to show the how to draw this in the curve with some animation in the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint show some animation to draw the work time relationship for problem 1, as I just showed you in drawing by hand. With this, as you can see, again, individual facility of the project in percent of work in vertical axis and percent time in the horizontal. Then for metal side work, we have the time between 0 to 35% and effort 25%. And then we draw the concrete building on top of the side work, that weight, the multiplier 25%. We can be able to determine the concrete building for the time from 15% to 75%, and the effort totally 40%, so that we can have the concrete building with the weighting, the magnitude of effort for compared to the overall project is 40% or 0.4. Finally, we can be able to draw the metal buildings that start at 65% time to 100% time, and the effort is 35%. So in total, we can be able to find that metal buildings for the work effort from 65% on top of concrete building to 100% for the overall percent work for the whole project. So that is for each individual facility or task of the project. Now, just some animation how to draw the work time relationship curve that I just showed you with hand drawing, and now with the PowerPoint slide here can show you that as well. So with that, we can have the composite overlay of all the above facility to find out the work time relationship curve. So with that one in the time, percent time, and the first 15% time, we only have side work, so that it will be the same as the side work. And with between 15% time to 35% time, they overlap between concrete building and side work. So we can draw a line that I just showed you. Basically, that is a line between this point and this point to connect that. Connect that one, and then between 35% time and 65% time only concrete building, so we can be able to draw the work time relationship curve parallel to concrete building during that time period. And the overlap for metal building and concrete building between 65 and 35%, so there are 2 points here. Then we can draw the line between those 2 points. We can be able to determine the work time relationship curve for that time period, 65% to 75%. And finally, the percent time between 75% to 100% only metal buildings. So the curve should be parallel to the metal building. So that is the work time relationship curve. I just relay that based on what we draw in the hand drawing for that same problem. And that we have site concrete building only. We have concrete building and metal building when we have overlap, and then the metal building only. So we have the curve for the whole project.